So as you can see, these canoes built by the students from Maritime High School are all laid out and ready to go, as are the life vests in case they need them. And just in case, each one is being equipped with a hand pump in case it starts to take on water, so you can take the water out and some extra rope. All the safety gear needed before these young sailors take their brand new hand-built canoes out to the Duwamish River. And from the looks of it, they're all excited and ready to go.
Might be the last time we say that for a while, yeah? No? No, you guys try that with your parents at home. All right. We are doing this. We are going to paddle the canoes today. Any doubters? Are we going? Really? Okay. Even at the water's edge. So we're going to hear from a few folks that were integral in making this happen today. We're going to talk a little bit about the paddles in some of your hands. And I'm going to lead it off with Tremaine first of all.
All right, you know that.
I know.
All right. Good morning, everybody. All right, welcome. How are we feeling today? Good? Good. Cold? It is a little chilly out here, so I won't take too much of your time. I just want to express my eternal gratitude for this opportunity to be with you here today. I'm grateful for everything that you all have done as a class, as 9th graders, and as you all are beginning to transition into your 10th grade year. To me, this is a momentous occasion for me. I think I was sharing with a couple of our staff members that before Maritime High School started, this is where we began. We actually took one of the first videos on our website and recorded it right here. So this is a cyclical moment for me. So I'll try not to get emotional, but definitely grateful that we have this opportunity here today. I just want to be able to say that first off, thank you. I love each and every one of you. I believe in each and every one of you. And I want to make sure that you all have the success that you need, the resources that you need to continue to grow and be able to build more canoes for the future. Now, I know that I won't be here in the fall, but you're in phenomenal hands with the brand new principal that's coming in, Jamila Gordon, who you all will get to meet here eventually. And you also will be in great hands with the phenomenal staff that we have here at Maritime High School. So cherish these memories, cherish these moments. I'll end by saying this quote that my dad always used to tell me: once the task has begun, never rest until it's done. Be the label large or small, do it well or not at all. Maritime High School students, continue to do things well or do not do them at all. Thank you so much for your time.
go on the left. You are free at the beach. Woo! Ready, Mr. First paddle. You get this one? Okay. Can we grab another group to start this safety process? Yeah. Okay. You want to pedal right or left? You guys are free.
It's the moment of truth, and it looks like so far the boats that these young students have built are holding up well as they make their way out into the Duwamish River.
Okay, you got it. No, you're good.
So this is Tremaine Holloway. He is the principal of Maritime High School. Tremaine, thanks for taking a minute. Appreciate that. So let me have you just give us a little basic about what these students are doing out here. They built their own canoes.
Yep.
Let's talk about that process.
Yeah, it's an exciting day, momentous occasion. Our students have been working for the past 3 or 4 months just building canoes. There's 4 we're launching today. We had an opportunity to do a ceremonial activity as well. Grateful for the folks at UW for the rowing corporation that allowed for us to be able to, come out here and do this and support us. Really grateful that, not only our 9th graders are experiencing this, our 10th graders will also experience this on Thursday as well. And so this is a tradition that we're trying to continue to keep going for the years and years to come at Maritime High School. So really excited about that. Grateful for our students, of course. And so looking forward to see what other things come of this from today.
So tell me a little bit about the building of the boats. What do these kids do?
Yeah. So these kids have done this. These are all student-led, all student-built canoes. So from the ground up, from the beginning, we've dedicated a lot of time to it. Northwest Maritime Center has been a huge supporter of making sure that our kids have the resources to be able to do this. We do have a mini wood shop back on our campus, and so our kids, literally we're building, learning how to do the sanding, the painting, all from the ground up using wood cutters and also utilizing CAD to be able to create the design for them. So this was a lot of mathematics, geometrical shapes that come into place with this, a lot of project-based learning. And so I think it's really intentional that we do work like this because this is what learning should always be about, right? So we're in the process of really trying to radically make sure that people reimagine what education looks like. It's not just about going to class 6 periods a day. It's about how we really using the learning that we're doing and applying it to something real tangible.
The thing that stood out to me as you all were talking here too is that there's a lot of emphasis on teamwork.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what project-based learning really is all about. And I like to call it learning-based projects because I believe that the learning is actually happening as students are doing their projects. So team building, collaboration, that's really a part of a lot of the competencies that we do use in terms of our grading system. So we want to make sure that kids are prepared for the future that they choose and also able to help support those in the community, those here locally here, and really just embody that collaboration.
Well, and if they're going to pursue a maritime career and they're going to be on a ship, they're going to have to work as a team and collaboratively, aren't they?
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about, right? I think that the skills and the tools and resources that they'll get here at Maritime High School will prepare them for being on ships, being on water, but also any career that they desire to go into the future. So that's really what our goal is, to prepare them for the future that they choose so they adequately have what they need no matter what field that they actually end up going into.
So you're in the Highline School District, but you mentioned to me before we were talking that there are kids from as far away as like Port Orchard. You've had one from Olympia. So what does a student and a family need to do if they want their students to go to Maritime High School?
Yeah, just sign up. Right? Just sign up. We're definitely looking to make sure that we have students coming from all over. Like I mentioned before, we are a regional program or a regional school, choice school in the Highline School District. So we do take kids from all over. It is a lottery system, so you do apply. And beyond that lottery, students are able to get in. But 50% of our students do come from the Highline School District. The other 50% come from outside. And so transportation is provided for those who are in district. Out of district is a challenge, but for those who are committed and want to have this experience, definitely encourage you to be able to apply for sure.
So let's test my memory here. Right now you have a freshman class and a sophomore class. I believe it's roughly 80 students, but you're adding another one, and the goal is 400?
The goal is 400. When we're at 9 through 12, we want to have 100 per grade level. So yep, you're spot on.
All right, well, but do you have the space for 400 now?
So we don't necessarily have the space, I will say that. And so hopefully in the future here, we'll be able to have a permanent home. So we're located at the Olympic Interim Site, which is our Highline School District's interim site for any school that's in transition. So our goal is to, within the next 4 or 5 years, to have a permanent home here. Hopefully it's closer to the South Park area. We love this area, we love the Duwamish River, but we'd love to be able to have as many supporters as we can and resources to be able to fund and help support us get a brand new permanent home soon.
Going to take a bond vote to do that, isn't it?
Yes.
I was leading to the bond vote.
Please
for
vote.
me.
Yeah, please vote. Please vote. When that next bond comes for Highline, please vote. Definitely, the bond passed last year with an amazing rate. So Evergreen High School is being built now. Tyee High School is also being built. Pacific Middle School is next. Those are 3 schools that are in our district. So our hope is that we'll be on that next bond, and Maritime High School will have a permanent home here pretty soon.
So you don't know if you'll be on the bond yet?
We're not aware. We're not aware. The hope is that we are, fingers crossed. And we also have a lot of supporters in the community who are also behind the Maritime High School concept. And so our hope is that not only is just the bond that's actually helping support us get a permanent home, but also some of our folks in the community. You have to be grateful for folks like Lake Union Dry Dock. I think about Port of Seattle, Northwest Maritime Center, folks from Sawchuck who have contributed already with their financial resources to make sure students are having what they need. And so we want to make sure that folks in the community are also aware of this as well, this opportunity. And so it takes each of us for Maritime High School to be successful.
And you've already touched on it a little bit, but let's talk a little more. I mean, the whole purpose is career building.
Yes.
What can these kids do once they've come out of Maritime High School?
They can really do anything. We believe that the sea is the most powerful teacher that we know. 80% of the jobs in the maritime field are actually on land. And so anything you can think about or dream of when it comes to the workforce and the work field, the maritime industry has that. Transportation, vessel operations and design, maritime construction, marine science, marine biology. All these fields are pretty vast and filled with workforce opportunities that I think our students will be adequately prepared for. And so just because you're learning through the lens of maritime doesn't mean that you won't have the opportunity to venture into different sectors as well.
Well, it looks like you have a bright bunch of students with bright futures. Maritime High School Principal Tremaine Holloway, thanks you, sir.
Thank you so much.
So this is Heather Seeley. She is one of the first 2 Maritime High School employees, and her son Enzo is now out on the Duwamish River in one of these canoes. Mom, are you nervous?
No, not at all. He's an avid swimmer. I'm totally confident in his swimming capabilities, and he's having a great day, so no nerves.
Oh, that's fantastic, because he told me the last time they did something like this, he ended up in the drink. So
that is true. Yeah.
But he was able to swim out, and that's the most important part. So before we started here, you were talking about how Enzo was inspired seeing what you were doing working for the school. Tell me a little about that.
During the pandemic, I became the office manager for Maritime High School. We started it during COVID virtually when it was an idea and we were starting to form the school. So that meant my kids were next to me while I took meetings, and they heard, the grand opening ceremony and things like that, just different informational meetings that we were having, and a few things really stood out to him. Cal Maritime, he watched a video on that while we were in a meeting talking about, pathways for students, and he really loves to swim. He's been on swim teams since he was 6. My brother was in the Coast Guard, and so he's definitely inspired by that, and just said, I'd like to go. And I said, you don't have to. Just because I work there doesn't mean you don't have, or that you have to go. But he really wanted to. And so now we've gone from Tremaine and I being here with no students, doing a little recruitment video, and now we've got students in the water, and one of them is my own son. So it's pretty special to watch him push off on a canoe that they built together. So
Well, talk a little bit as a mom, and now your son is in the school.
Yeah.
You know, what you expect in terms of the value of the education he gets here.
The project-based learning for me, hands-on, he's a super visual learner. I think a small sense of community really brought us, and I knew it for his learning style, it would be very beneficial for him to be here. He's really benefited from the project-based learning concepts where they're weaving math and science and humanities into every project that they're working on. And I love that we brought out the UW Shell House today and are weaving in Native stories as well. Our family has ties to Native history, and so we're just really blessed to be a part of it. And I think I've watched him grow so much from the beginning of the year. Even though he was certain he wanted to be here, I don't know if he was certain about an all-day maritime concept, and he's realized, I think, just watching him present on tree canopies and watershed yesterday, just really being able to talk about the place where we live and tie in those just place-based learning as well. I don't know, I've watched him grow so much on the maturity level. He's just from the beginning of freshman year to the end, and I really attribute it to the amazing teaching staff and administration at Maritime High School. And I imagine you expect him to have a bright future because of this education, whatever career he pursues. I do. They just announced that there's pathways for after 10th grade, and I've never seen him light up so much when he heard about the pathway options that are going to be in front of him, and he's talking about his future and seems to feel very positively about the paths that are before him. And as a mom, what more could you ask for? I know when I was 15 and in high school, was thinking about college, but not ready to figure out what I wanted to do for a future. So that's fantastic that he's at that place already. Yeah, the water for sure has always called him, and I'm excited he can choose if he wants to a path that way. But I also know it's a comprehensive enough education with all of the concepts being brought in and woven together. He could do anything he wanted. Excellent, excellent. Yeah. Well, best of luck to Enzo in his career. Thanks, Heather. Thank you. So this is from left to right. Enzo, Amara, and Mac. You're all freshmen, right? Yes. All right. So let me ask you first thing. You've been out in the water. How was it?
Really? Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun and super relaxing.
Relaxing to be out there.
No, yeah, it was awesome. Just seeing all the industry, getting to paddle and learn how to canoe. It was awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
The water was really nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, Enzo, you're about to wrap up your first year.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this has helped lead you to like what you want to do with your future?
Yeah, totally. It's like really out in the water and like you get to enjoy everything that there is. And like we're doing this for high school too. Like this isn't like an after-school activity. This is for high school, which is absolutely insane. And then I know next year even more opportunities. So. This is like just one of the smaller ones. Like we've done so much. It's absolutely insane.
Well, and you're obviously drawn to the water. In fact, your mom sort of filled me in on that. Like you can't even take your eyes off the water while you're like you want to get back in, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't really blame. I hear you're quite a swimmer too. So.
I am quite a swimmer. Everything, my job too. I'm a lifeguard, so everything.
And you want to do water rescue?
Yeah. I feel like it's something that I can do. So,
fabulous.
Yeah,
well, and I'm sure Maritime High School will help you get there, right?
Yeah, of course. They've so many opportunities. It helps you so much.
Okay, Amara, what about you? What do you want to do with your education here?
So for me, because this school has given us like so many opportunities, there's really a lot of things that I can go. Even with my personal life, because I am a dancer, I can also do that and succeed with that. And I'm really interested in teaching also, but this school has given me so many professional opportunities. I feel like I could definitely succeed with all of the opportunities and all of the education they've given me, and especially like being out on the water pretty often is just fantastic, and it's just a nice way to like be at school. Like I sit there thinking, oh my gosh, I'm at school right now, and I feel like this is a big experience that many kids are like missing out on, honestly.
Well, now I have to ask, what kind of dancing do you do?
I do ballet, tap, jazz, lyrical, acro, hip-hop, modern, contemporary, improv. I also take master classes, so I do musical theater and Bollywood and a lot more.
Ooh, Bollywood's hard.
Yeah, it really is.
No ballroom?
No ballroom. I'm interested in ballroom now.
Okay, because I was going to say, you know, we're an ABC affiliate, so you know, if you wanted to try to get on Dancing with the Stars as one of the, you know, one of the pros when the time comes, I might be able to send an email to somebody.
Ooh, nice, thank you.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yes.
Mac, what about you? What do you want to do?
No, well, it's been awesome. This year's been filled with a lot of career learning opportunities. And I think being a scuba diver of some sort sounds awesome. I mean, we learned about that one of the days, but like there are these people who go underwater and they like do construction underwater. So that sounds awesome. And as a rower, I'm on a high school rowing team. Just being here is awesome, and being able to interact with the water all the time is just a really awesome experience for sure.
Well, let me ask you too. Part of what I'm taking away from today, and you know, for me, I'm learning all about Maritime High School today.
Yeah.
Teamwork is a big thing. Tell me a little about that. How that's approached.
Well, we've been given a lot of opportunities to give like tours to people and like advocacy presentations, and we're always working together as a group. And it's very similar to what it's like on the water, because you have to row as a team all together. So they're two very similar experiences, and it's a really good skill to have for a job in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you end up working on a ship or working with a diving construction team, or with a dance troupe, you all have to be in sync, don't you?
Yeah. The teamwork on this school is insane. Even with like our schoolwork, there's a lot of individual parts, but with that being said, there's a lot of teamwork that goes into that. So maybe first we'll start out with research, and so we're all divided up into groups and we're given things to research on, but then with that we also do a lot of individual work with our research and like collaborating with our team. Mac also mentioned our river tour. We went on to our vessel AJ, Admiral Jack, that our school owns, and we gave tours of the Duwamish River to people who live on the Duwamish River, and we worked as a team for that. But a lot of that teamwork was dividing who was doing what, and within that teamwork was a lot of individual work. And even with our advocacy project, it was a lot of like your own work, but it was also your team supporting you, standing by your side, and you were going to be like talking in front of legislators, so you're going to be like needing a team with you. For your impact project, you're either like with a team or you're like individual, and that goes to like on a ship or on a boat or on a canoe. It goes into like, okay, so I'm going to paddle left, you paddle right, and then so yourself is paddling, but you also have to communicate with your team. So, and even like on a vessel, you have to communicate, and it's a lot of teamwork. It's just amazing to have a school that's like willing to work with you with that.
Oh, that's great. So Enzo, to be fair, your mom kind of sold you out a little bit before I talked to you. Yeah, no, it was all good though. And one of the things she told me was having the hands-on learning was really good. Has been good for you. What do you think about that?
Yeah, hands-on learning is like always something I've been doing, like sitting down, doing something for 8 hours straight. Like it's not normal. High school has never really like worked for me. This is my first year of school. I shouldn't say high school, but definitely like giving 2 days a week to being out somewhere, like field trips. Always, it's awesome because you're always doing something new. There's really never been a week that's been the same thing for like a couple weeks straight. It's always been something different, which is awesome for me, and I love doing the wood shop. My grandfather and my dad, very, very good with their hands. So it's something that I really like to do. Yeah.
That's great, and I'm jealous because I'm the worst with that stuff. Like, I'm the guy who builds the birdhouse that looks like the one Homer Simpson built. So, that's how it goes. Well, listen, thanks, guys. Really appreciate you taking some time. That's awesome. And best of luck to you in your futures.
Thank you guys so much. Yeah.